Welcome to a spectacular celebration of World Ocean Day. Today, we are taking you underwater to the Point Lobos State Marine Reserve with the California State Parks dive team. We are going to discover the magic of the kelp forest and learn why protecting our ocean is so important. Friends, before we get started, we want to hear from you in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Feel free to share your questions, your comments. We will definitely have Q&A time with our friends. And all of our friends at the California State Park are here. They're ready to respond. So as we get started, I'm starting with a shout out. Hello to some special third graders at Chris Young Elementary School in Virginia. We know your whole grade level is watching right now. Friends, we have a special treat for all of you, teachers, parents, the viewers out there. Have your cameras ready. We have an amazing opportunity to snap a selfie with our friends from California State Parks and the underwater dive team. How incredible is that? So get ready. We will capture a truly memorable moment together. All right. Without further ado, let's dive in and embark on an unforgettable underwater adventure together. The countdown begins now. All right, hello again, hello, and welcome to all of the ocean enthusiasts, adventurers, and marine explorers out there today. We are incredibly excited to have you all joining in. My name is Ann Cosma, and I'm from Team Flip as your host today, and we have a very special day diving deep into the wonders of the ocean, right from the comforts of your own screens. And the best part is, we won't just be spectators. No, we have the unique opportunity to swim alongside the California State Park dive team and chat with them in real life as they explore the kelp forest and reveal the secrets that lie beneath. So, my friends, fasten up, get your virtual flippers ready, get ready to make a splash, and join us in the virtual celebration today for World Ocean Day. Together, we're going to dive into this unforgettable adventure, soak up knowledge, and pledge to protect the ocean and all of its marvelous inhabitants. Let the fun begin. Alec, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ann, and hello, everyone. Happy World Ocean Day from one of my favorite places in the entire world. We're here today at Point Lobos State Natural Reserve on the central coast of California. And y'all couldn't have come on a better day. It is about 60 degrees. The water is calm. No wind out here today. And let me show y'all what I'm looking at currently out here on the water. You can see I'm out here on my kayak, and my friends Erica and Pat are just below me under the ocean surface. And very soon we are going to be going to them to see what their world looks like on this World Ocean Day. But today we are going to be celebrating World Ocean Day and thinking about our conservation, thinking about how we protect these places. Everything that you're looking at today is protected, my friends, from the land to the sea. On land, we have the Point Lobos State Natural Reserve, one of California's first natural reserves. And in the ocean, we have State Marine Reserve. And I would like to show you all on a map where Point Lobos is, so you can get a general idea of where we're at as we zoom in here from the solar system down to the west coast of the United States, to the central coast of California, just south of the Monterey Bay, to the north end of Point Lobos. See, what you're looking at right now is exactly where we are today in the Whalers Cove area. So I just want to give you a little sense of place of where we are. And like I said, this is a state marine reserve, meaning it's a marine protected area. And the way I can best describe that to you is I want you to meet my little friend Shelly here. And Shelly is a snail, and Shelly is protected here at Point Lobos within our state marine reserve. And so we put Shelly in our little protected state marine reserve. And not only is Shelly protected by this marine protected area that we're in right now, it's also protected by a bigger marine protected area, the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So we have an MPA, my friends, within an MPA. That means this place is super protected. And this place is a model for how we can carry on protection throughout the world. Our goal this World Ocean Day 2023 is to think about conserving 30% of the world's oceans by the year 2030. Currently, we're at 8%. So you can do the math. We got our work cut out for us. We have about 22% more of the world's ocean to protect by 2030. And we hope this can inspire you to think about what protection means and why it's important. So I want to throw it down to my friends below the surface here at Point Lobos. Erica and Pat, show us what's going on down below, y'all.
Hi everyone, it's Erica here with California State Parks, and I'm joined by my friend Patrick, the underwater photographer.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us here live from my favorite place in the whole water world, this beautiful giant kelp forest, and especially this protected giant kelp forest here at Point Lobos State Natural Reserve. And what a beautiful day it is out here, Erica. Just absolutely stunning stuff here beneath the waves.
Yeah, we're so excited to have all of you from across California, around the United States, and of course around the world. I know there are some students who are joining us internationally. Welcome and happy World Ocean Day to all of you. I am here in the Point Lobos State Marine Reserve, like you just heard from Alec upstairs, up on the surface of the water. This is a protected area. It's part of a network of marine protected areas across the entire coast of California, as well as our big, beautiful Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So that's state protections on top of our federal or national protections. So a very special spot to be on World Ocean Day. And the really cool thing about these protections is that it helps protect habitats like the giant kelp forest. So we're going to take a little bit of time to have a look at the kelp forest now. I'm here next to a column of kelp, but why don't we stand up and kind of have a look up above us? That is going to kind of give us a panning view.
We're going to go and take a look up. We've got a few rockfish that are hanging out around us. In case you're wondering, there's some blue rockfish. But this is a tower of kelp in the Kelp Cathedral, as it were, rising up to the sea surface. Giant kelp can grow from about 70 to 80 feet deep out here in Monterey Bay, and it reaches all the way up to the surface, then splays out and forms this incredible canopy. You can see just how dark the water is here behind me with that kelp there, and you might even be able to see the sun dancing through there, the surface. And then we have our blue rockfish friend coming back. Loves to live here inside this kelp amphitheater, this algal amphitheater. And the way that the kelp rises up to the surface is it holds on to the reef with not roots exactly. They hold on to the reef with what's known as a hold fast. You can see right here, all these little fingers of kelp coming down to latch themselves onto the reef, much like a gecko's foot, like a living Velcro. I can hold on to every little recess, crack, and crevice there on the rock, and then it'll rise up to the surface by using little swimmy floats for the kelp. And Erica's got a few here. She can show you. Those little swimmy floats are called nematocysts. That's the scientific term for them. And they're filled with oxygen from photosynthesis, carbon dioxide from consuming their own food, just like we breathe out carbon dioxide, the kelp does too. And you can put that inside those little bulbs that then buoy the kelp up to the surface. And if Erica does that buoyancy test, if she lets go, she'll see that kelp rise up to the surface to go up with its huge solar panels to go and eat the sun up there on the top of the water there, where Alec is paddling around. So an absolutely incredible ecosystem, and one of my favorite places to dive in the whole world inside the water woods.
Yeah, so this kelp forest is obviously a really great place for recreation. Scuba divers love coming to the Monterey area to dive in the kelp forest. And in addition to it being a great place to recreate, this ecosystem and our marine protected areas also do great things for the local wildlife. So when we're looking at this ecosystem here, from the rocky reef that the kelp grows on to these long columns going up to the surface, and of course the canopy, there are animals living throughout this whole area. And some of the animals, they live here year round. They are with us full time, and others just pass through. So for instance, just before this dive started, we had an elephant seal pup, a young juvenile elephant seal that had swum into this cove. We often see harbor seals through here as well. We've got sea otters. You all know the sea otters, I'm sure. Now, these big marine mammals come through, but we also have smaller animals like different types of fishes and different types of invertebrates as well. So always a lot of cool things to see. And when we have these marine protected areas in place to protect the kelp forest ecosystem, it creates a fantastic opportunity for us to really provide habitat for species of all sorts of different animals. And in turn, that really helps our oceans stay healthy and be especially resilient to climate change. But I know that we've been talking kind of about those bigger concepts. Let's now have a look at a couple of the animals that we have around. I know that we spotted a sea star just down here in front of me. Why don't we have a look at this one really quick, Pat?
Yeah, so what we have down here is one of the kelp forest marine protected area MVPs right here. This is a bat star. Bat stars are part of the seafloor Roomba team. They're sort of the janitors that go along cleaning up anything they can find down there. They'll take their stomach out of their mouth. The mouth is on the bottom side right here. They'll take the stomach out of their mouth and digest anything they can crawl on top of into a delicious seafood soup. And those bat stars are one of many different species of starfishes that we have all along the reef here feasting on different things. It's a really amazing animal that doesn't look like a whole lot, but if you were to attach a time-lapse camera around here on the reef, you would start to see this animal pick up and start crawling around relatively quickly with the time lapse, slurping up all various foods that it can find as it goes.
There's another invertebrate right next to you. We've got a moon jelly that has just swum in.
Oh my goodness, yeah, let's take a look at that moon jelly. Oh, there we go right there. You can see that blue cable. That's what's allowing me to talk to you all. But here Erica is moving our gelatinous friend, and we can create little vortices. Let me see if I can clean off a little bit of its jelly there. Look at this moon jelly that's coming by. Moon jellies, one of those incredible animals that is out in the open ocean a lot of the time, sometimes blows in here to the reef. We've actually seen quite a few moon jellies here in Point Lobos just within the last day or two. Seems like the tide pushed some of them in. This one looks a little bit chewed up because the rockfish that we saw a little bit earlier, that blue rockfish, they are jellivores. They love to feast on these little bits of jelly. There's no peanut butter fish out there, but a jellyfish becomes a really tasty treat for a lot of different animals.
Yeah, I know a lot of sea turtles like to eat jellies as well. That's one of the problems with marine plastic pollution is that when plastic gets into the ocean, it can look a lot like jellies. If you can imagine a plastic bag floating in water, it might look a lot like this. So it is really important when we're thinking about the way that we can protect and preserve the ocean. Hi there, buddy. He's getting a little close to me there.
It's got a mind of its own, even though it's brainless. Look at it go.
So when we think about things that we can do to protect the ocean, keeping our plastics out of the ocean is really important because, of course, we've just learned that fish, as well as sea turtles, when they're feeding on jellies, they might also accidentally consume plastics, which we definitely do not want. When plastics can get into the guts of animals, they can make it really hard for them to digest the food that is truly nutritious. So we got to keep the plastics out. And the jellyfish going strong. Whoa! All right, that's a little too close. I don't want a jellyfish hug on my face.
Here, and what we can do is I can swirl my finger this way, create a little water current, and pull it away from you there, Erica. All right, you are safe from the total eclipse of the moon jelly that almost happened right there.
Lots of cool invertebrates. Now, let's see, are there any other things hanging out that we might be able to take a look at? I know we had a sea cucumber, but he may have moved on.
Yeah, there is a sea cucumber right over here, Erica, if you want to come my way.
Okay.
It's down here in this crack. I may need your help kind of revealing it. But this orange friend down in here is a sea cucumber. So one of those animals that doesn't look like a whole lot, just sort of looks like a foot-long hoagie that we have down here on the reef. But another part of the janitor crew here cleaning up, feasting on a lot of different bits of food and recycling it like a giant above-ground earthworm. The sea cucumber has a mouth and it has a butt, and it doesn't breathe through its mouth. It actually breathes in and out through its tail end, leaving the mouth end exclusively to feed on various bits of food it can find here along the reef. So sea cucumbers there, and all through this reef, you can see how colorful it is down here We have red and coral and algae all around us. And we have that orange sea cucumber we saw before. So much life down in here. And actually, Erica, as I was, oh no, go for it. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, like, you see how diverse the life is here. We've got a lot of different invertebrates. You may have also noticed all this stuff that's kind of floating in the water around us. You should be able to see some of that. Now, a lot of it is, of course, sediment or sand that's come off of the seafloor as Pat and I are moving around. But there's also in this water column a lot of nutrients. So we are in a cold water habitat. There is a deep submarine or underwater canyon near us that is very nutrient rich and cold water that's brought to these more shallow environments. And that's what really helps the kelp forest thrive. There's lots of nutrients. In addition to that, there's a lot of plankton. So microscopic algae and animals called phytoplankton, and sorry, I apologize, phytoplankton and zooplankton. So this plankton is the core of the marine food web. It all starts at this really small microscopic level, and all the animals around it rely on this nutrient-rich, very productive environment. So really awesome stuff. All of this plankton that is all around us, and it seems very small, but it's very important.
That's right, and some of the zooplankton can get pretty big because got that moon jelly that's hovering ominously there above your shoulder there, Erica. That moon jelly wants to be part of the show now.
Yeah.
But a little bit earlier behind us, and I'm pretty sure, I just lost control of the camera. I'm so excited. But behind us a little bit earlier, and I'm going to bring it into screen now, we had this animal. This is really hard to describe to people who haven't seen this type of animal before, but this is known as a salp. A salp is a filter-feeding animal that swims through the water. And yeah, Erica just pointed it towards us. This is the mouth of the salp right here in the front. And it's opening and closing, creating a water current that pumps water through the body of the animal and out the tail end right here. This is known as a thetis salp, and it's the twin-tailed salp. You can see there the little tails it has. All these little bars inside of it are muscle bands. This little red and orange part, that's its gut. And this animal is solitary, but reproduces by creating a row of clones that if we flip them around a little bit, you should be able to see here, and you see this little rope that's inside of it here, this little string, that is going to come out of the animal and become the next generation of salps in a chain. So there's this beautiful gut there feeding on all of that phytoplankton that you were mentioning before there, Erica. And this is one of the largest salp species in the world. These are one of the most important types of animal in the global ocean to help regulate the carbon cycle because they are so abundant and they feed so prodigiously that the little fecal pellets that come out of them sink food into the deep ocean and create basically the habitable planet that we have here in terms of cycling nutrition from the atmosphere into the ocean. So that is our twin-sailed salp friend, a really exciting otherworldly animal that we got to see here in the kelp today. And I'm going to see if I can't turn it back around towards the open ocean so that it can go and continue along its way. Thank you for your service, salps. We appreciate you on World Ocean Day.
That was so cool. Now, we've shared a lot of the life that's down here, and I know that quite a few of you probably have questions for us. Do we have any questions from our students that we could answer while we're here underwater? All right.
Hey, Erica and Pat. It's Alex from above.
Have you hold on to the
If I
camera
may-
real quick there?
If I may interject, guys, I gotta say, y'all are blowing our minds, not only with the animals that you're showing us that seem
Awesome.
to be alien, but also
All right.
the knowledge that you're dropping as well. This is
Of
amazing
course.
stuff
It's
that
really
we're learning
exciting to get to
today.
share this with all of you.
Thank
Oh
you for
my
holding
gosh,
on
this
to
is
that.
For sure. Well, I think-
amazing. Y'all, we want a selfie with you, Alec, while you're on the water. Pat and
All
Erica, while you're underwater. Let's get that selfie moment going, friends. This is the time. Everybody get your cameras ready. We're definitely going to get to those questions, but if you're in your classroom, if you're at home, wherever you're watching from, we're going to give you a few moments to get set up. Our divers, everybody's ready. It's almost selfie time.
All right, friends, we're going to count down 3. We're going to say World Ocean Day in 3, 2, 1. World Ocean Day!
World Ocean Day! Woo!
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I have the biggest smile on my face, and I'm sure everybody out there does too. Erica, Pat, underwater, Alec up on the water. Thank you so much for being here. Folks, we want to see your selfies. Please post them on social and be sure to tag us using @Microsoft Flip and tag our very good friends @Ports Program. So let's get to those questions. We have so many. Mr. Soria's summer school class, hello. Divers, how deep underwater are you?
That's a good question, Erica. How deep are we down here right now? Let's check those gauges.
My gauges here that has a compass, so I know how to navigate underwater. It also has a depth gauge, and currently we are only at 10 feet deep, which is relatively shallow. When you're scuba diving, you can go deeper than that, but when we're doing educational programs, it's best for us to stay in more shallow environments because it's better for our bodies. Good question. Is there another question?
Yeah, divers, how do you speak underwater and how long can you stay down?
Yeah, that's another good question. So as you all can tell, I can hear Anne and Alec in my earphones. I have little earphones here on the sides of my head, and I'm wearing a special full face mask that not only covers my eyes, but also my nose and my mouth. Right in here, there is a microphone, as well as my regulator that provides me air via this air hose that connects to the tank on my back. Now, this mask also connects to this yellow cord here, and this cord, Pat has one too. His is blue, and that connects the camera and the audio all the way back up to the surface. Now, up top, just above water, we've got a whole team of people who are working to make sure that you can both hear and see us while we're underwater in the kelp forest.
Incredible. Gianna in Delaware, hello. Divers, how long does it take to put on all the gear?
Oh my goodness. That's probably one of the big things about scuba diving is it does require a whole lot of gear to get dressed in. The more frequently you dive and the more comfortable you get with your gear, the easier it is to put on. Now, if you're diving in a tropical environment, you don't have to wear all of this insulated material. I'm wearing a wetsuit that keeps me very warm. Pat is wearing a dry suit that he doesn't even get wet underneath, which is really cool equipment. But if you're in a warm tropical environment, you don't need all this extra stuff. Here, though, it takes me about 30 minutes to set up all my gear and get dressed in order to get into the water.
Oh my gosh, and no doubt, all of it to keep you safe and protected. Ansel, a 4th grader in Delaware, hello. Divers, what is the rarest fish species or animal you have found there?
I'm going to let Pat answer this one because he has been diving in the Monterey Bay area for the better part of his career, and he really knows this environment and the really special creatures that show up occasionally.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. I've seen so many cool things diving out here in Monterey Bay, but one of my favorites was actually right here at Point Lobos State Marine Reserve. Just about 3-4 years ago, I was out diving with some friends that were visiting from Hawaii, and so they were really cold, and they were spending a lot of time staring at the kelp, and one of them found on the blade of kelp a type of jellyfish that lives attached to the kelp. So it's not an anemone, it's a type of animal called the staurozoan. It's a jellyfish that decided that it didn't want to swim through the water like that moon jelly or like that kelp that we saw before. It just wanted to have a much more chill, relaxed life living on the kelp couch. And so imagine on this little blade of kelp here, a jellyfish attached to it and swinging around like maybe a chandelier out there trying to grab little bits of food out of the water. They're a type of animal called the staurozoan. There are only 50 species of them that we know about, and they're only found in cold water environments. You won't see them in the tropics. That's probably my favorite animal that I've seen, and one of the rarest ones that we have out here in the area. Super cool animal.
Oh my gosh, that's remarkable. Divers, Phoenix wants to know, are you scared of any animals down there?
That's a really good question. I know that when I come into the ocean, I am not scared. The majority of the animals around us have zero interest in us. We're noisy, we're big, we make all these bubbles, and more often than not, the animals, they don't even want to be near us. So when we talk about coming into the water and maybe being a little nervous, the best thing to do is make sure that you know the risk that you're taking, that you're comfortable with the scuba diving gear that you're using, and you also know what you're getting into. So what kind of animals you might encounter, or what kind of ocean conditions you might experience, like a strong current or even cold temperatures. Right now it is, let me see, I'm checking my temperature. It's 54 degrees Fahrenheit in this water right now, so it's pretty chilly. So when we come in the water, we're more concerned about the conditions and being safe in our gear than we are about animals. Now, with that, I'm sure there are probably a couple questions about sharks. A lot of students are always very interested about sharks. And for me as a diver, and I know that Pat would agree, when you see a shark, you don't get scared. You're just like, yeah, it's so exciting to see sharks underwater. The cool thing about these predators is that they play really important roles in our ecosystems because they put that downward pressure on top of other species to keep the populations healthy and in check. So when you're underwater and you see a shark, you know that the ocean that you're in, that things are really healthy because it can support predators like that. So no, I don't have any fear. Pat, I don't think you get too scared in the water either.
No, I usually don't get too worried about the animals that are in the water, but every once in a while something will be a little bit startling. And I did have one time a sea otter that came down and tried to steal my fin. It was biting at it, tearing at it, trying to take my fin and rip it off. And that was relatively surprising, especially because sea otters have 2 flippers built in already, so I didn't know why it wanted a third. So that was a little bit surprising and scary, but nothing very dangerous out there. I've been very fortunate, like Aaron was saying, to dive with sharks and so many other animals around the world. And every time you see one of those big animals, like a big bull shark or a tiger shark, and you're diving, there's just this sense of calm that kind of washes over you. It's like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And usually the shark gives you a metaphorical thumbs up as well as they swim on by.
Metaphorical thumbs up. I like it.
Yeah.
Great
it's hard
questions.
to get thumbs up with fins, you know.
Are there any other questions from students that we can try to answer in the time we have left?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a question literally asking about the venomous fish. Can they sting through your materials? And is it found in most of the world's ocean?
So I believe the question was, are there venomous fish that can sting through our wetsuits? And then what was the second part of it?
Correct, diver. Can it be found in the most of the ocean?
Okay, so we're talking about things that might hurt us while we're underwater. Again, it is just really important to be aware of what's around you. It's really easy to keep yourself safe by keeping your eyes open and being aware of your surroundings. There are several types of fish that do have along their bodies, they'll have spines in their fins that might have some poison in them. And the best way to avoid that is simply by not going near them and not touching them. For those of you who might go to the seashore and go walking along the ocean's edge, you might encounter a stingray. The best way to safely wade into the water when there are stingrays present is to shuffle your feet so that they do not sting you, because it'll just scare them away. Again, humans are big and noisy and kind of clumsy underwater. So when we come down here, most of these animals, unfortunately, if we're not careful, they will just be scared away. So we come into the water and we show respect. We move slowly. We're aware of our environment, and then we won't have any of those negative encounters.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, Alec, we have a question for you too. I know they're working on the signal underwater. Can you let us know some of your insights? What should everybody do to help on World Ocean Day? Noelle is asking that, but I know everybody wants to know, how can we help, especially on World Ocean Day?
That's a great question, Ann, and thank you, Noelle, for asking that. How can we help this World Ocean Day? And I think everyone at home has the capability to positively impact the health of our oceans. Every single day we make personal choices about what we buy and what we use. And I think the biggest thing that I see is when I'm kayaking around this beautiful Whalers Cove, every once in a while I'll find a piece of trash. And when I find that piece of trash, of course, I'll pocket it and make sure it gets in the trash can when I'm back on shore. But a lot of the times it's not intentional that we litter. Things just kind of slip out. And so if we can reduce our use of single-use plastics, that's a huge way we can help our oceans. Just as Erica was talking about, our sea turtles go after jellies. And a sea turtle sees a piece of plastic in the water. It thinks, hey, that's a jelly, that's food. And so if we can reduce our plastic input into the world, into the oceans, that would be a huge way we can help our oceans.
Oh my gosh, I so appreciate your insights. And I just have to ask too, the animals that you encounter while you're up kayaking on top of the ocean, or what have you seen, or a rare animal encounter you've had, or some of those fun special memories?
Well, fortunately, above the water, I still get to see a decent amount of animals here at Point Lobos because, again, it's a state marine reserve. It's protected. So the life is thriving. I've seen sea otters here. I've seen harbor seals. I've seen sea lions. I've seen dolphins swimming by. One of my coworkers once saw a whale. Yes, a whale swim through Whalers Cove one time. And so we get a whole variety of animals. I did see a moon jelly earlier, an egg yolk jelly a little bit earlier as well, which is exactly how it sounds. It looks like someone just cracked an egg in the ocean and it's just floating along. So there is a lot of life on the surface to view as well.
Oh my gosh, Alec, this has been so phenomenal. And I know the underwater signal, we lost the signal, folks, but this was so incredible to see, you know, Erica and Pat and the animals underwater, and you up on the surface. We cannot thank you all enough. I have to ask, Alec, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with everyone who's watching?
Well, yeah, I would like to say, just on behalf of me and my colleagues up top who have helped out with all our technical assistance, and down below, who Erica, Pat, and our safety divers, we all want to thank you for caring enough about the ocean to come and view this wonderful broadcast with our Flip friends today. And I would encourage you to go out there, love, appreciate, learn more about our One World Ocean. Happy World Ocean Day, folks.
Oh, happy World Ocean Day indeed. And absolutely to the divers, the safety team, all of the California State Park Ports Program team, we are so thankful for you all and the ways that you are bringing the ocean to all of us today in celebration of so many incredible opportunities to learn, protect, and be together on World Ocean Day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are
Thank you,
sending.
Ann. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you, Alec. And I don't know if the divers can still hear me, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So
we can
awesome.
hear you, Anne. We love you guys.
Oh, yay! So cool. Thank
Happy
you,
World Ocean Day.
friends.
Sorry we lost video, but we're listening to the program, and it's been such an honor to come here and celebrate with all the students joining us from around the world. Just a reminder, everyone, the one global ocean, it doesn't separate us, it connects us. And it's up to each and every one of you. We all have to do our part to take care of this big, beautiful backyard. You've got to just do what you can in your life day to day, whether you live right here along the coastline or hundreds of miles inland. We're all connected to this big, beautiful ocean, and we all have the responsibility to protect it. So thank you, everybody, for taking what you can from this program and doing what you can to help protect our beautiful sea. So happy World Ocean Day, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. And friends, as this incredible underwater adventure comes to a close, remember that learning and inspiration never ends. You can continue your journey of discovery by heading to aka.ms/oceans topic. And this incredible Celebrate World Ocean Day 2023 topic, it's ready for you to use right now. And you can reflect on all that you've learned during today's captivating event. And you know the excitement doesn't end there. We have a treasure trove of flip events available on demand to watch and learn anytime. You can dive in at aka.ms/flip events, where you'll discover so many learning adventures, each designed to ignite your curiosity and expand your knowledge. And with that, that's it for today, friends. I'm your host, Ann Cosma, and on behalf of Team Flip, the entire California State Parks team, and our great friends at California Ports Program, you all are amazing, and we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the Ports Program, the dive team, and all of you who tuned in to join us today. Having you here with us made World Ocean Day even more memorable. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep shining bright, friends. Until next time, bye.